and money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With ORRETT Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is For the Record.
For the Record. 1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, ORRETT Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees. So fair. Today is Monday, the 9th day of December 2024, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable weekend. Those of you who are on our roads, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or operating any type of motorized vehicle, again, we urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious. Whether you're a pedestrian, cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, like I said before, some of you who we are actually trying to reach with these messages may be already at your workplace, behind your desk, or engaged in whatever work you do. And unfortunately, some of you are the ones who are out there at 6 o'clock, 6:15, 6:20 in the morning, making our roads extremely dangerous. So not sure that we're reaching you. Hopefully we are, or someone who knows you will say to you, listen, slow down on the roads, be careful. Those, I think they're called Pro Box. The drivers of those have a tendency to drive so recklessly as well. I don't know why, but they do so. So please observe the rules of the road. The life you save may just be your own. And unfortunately, this weekend we had 2 more road fatalities, and we'll talk a little bit about that during the show this morning. But first of all, let me say that our prayers go out to the families of those who are directly or indirectly affected by these tragedies, as well. Again, we express our sincere condolences to those families as well. If you're celebrating a birthday today, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday, and to remind you that the For the Record birthday shout-out is brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. We want to send special condolences to the family of the late Miss Lynn Smith, Mr. Dave Smith and his family. We want to extend our sincere condolences to you. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we want to wish you a speedy recovery. And again, we want to give a big shout out to our colleague here at Radio Cayman, DJ Lynn, and again to let him know that he continues to be in our prayers, and we wish and pray for a speedy recovery for him as well. So folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, ORRETT Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. Beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson waiting to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. WhatsApp us 925-3261. Follow us on YouTube by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream, and we are on Facebook as well. So first of all, this morning, let's look at the birthday shout-outs. We see Miss Sheena Rickfield celebrating her birthday today, and we want to wish her a happy birthday, going out to Miss Sheena Rickfield over at work. Also, today, Mr. George Powell celebrating his birthday. Happy birthday going out to Mr. George Powell as well. R.H. Barton also celebrating birthday today. We want to wish Mr. Barton a happy birthday. Upcoming birthdays: Robert Sutherland celebrating his birthday tomorrow. Alvin Daniel celebrating a birthday tomorrow, as well as Omoro Griffith celebrating a birthday tomorrow. If you know someone who's celebrating a birthday or any other momentous occasion, please share them with us here on For the Record birthday shoutouts, which are proudly brought to you by Coca-Cola. They are proud to support your birthday shoutouts. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. So folks, today, the 9th of December 2025, our Parliament will resume today, and it is expected to continue on for the remainder of this week. I have MP Christopher Saunders has shared with me a release that he's sent out, and it will go out around 8:30 this morning, and I will probably hold off on discussing it until the release is made, and he has shared it with me that I could use on my show. Hopefully to he felt that hopefully that I would find it of some use, and definitely will find it some use as well. It includes the fact that today's agenda will deal with 14 amendments to existing laws, and those amendments he has summarized, for us as well. So we will be sharing those with you. Meanwhile, talking about the fatalities on the weekend, again, our condolences go out to the family, and we want to be respectful to everyone concerned, not wanting to draw any conclusions other than, and rely on nothing other than what has been officially released. We have heard Ms. Jan continuously talk about the traffic situation about the use of alcohol, the partying during the Christmas. And again, what it does, it renews thoughts and discussions about the responsibility of those entities that disperse or liquor, as well as those persons who are hosting celebratory events for the Christmas season as well, and what responsibility those entities have, either legally, and I'm not a lawyer so I can't talk about the legal aspects of it, or morally, as far as doing as much as they possibly can to ensure the safety of their guests. We know that specialist transportation is offered to those persons who are in need of it. What the take-up has been on that in the past, we know, we have heard talks about it, has been heavily subscribed to as well. Question is, can we do more? What else can be done? If you have any views in relation to that, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, you may want to share those views with us. If not, the conversation will continue. At 8:15, we will have in the studio with us a representative from the Ministry of Culture, or is it Heritage or Culture, Miss Susan? They will be. We will be talking about National Heroes Day as well. So, folks, we're going to take that first commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series. Brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
At the start of the 20th century, life in the Cayman Islands was without question hard, with little in the way of material comfort. However, this sustenance living was more healthy and self-reliance was strong, and families were closely united. Farming and fishing were key to a family's survival. When it came to meat products, free-running pigs resembling Berkshires of England and chickens were kept, along with hunting wild bird, land crabs, and agouti. However, fish and conch were far more commonplace. When it came to carbohydrate intake, flour and rice were imported and considered a luxury. A more affordable means was to rely on ground provisions, including cassava, potato, corn, beans, squash, yams, cocos, breadfruit, bananas, plantain, coconuts, sugarcane, and various other fruits.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
This holiday season, let Kirk Market do the roasting so you can do the hosting. Visit in-store or shop online and order your traditional family feast, complete with classic roasted turkey and ham, all the tasty sides and trimmings. Let the chefs at Kirk Market be your holiday helpers so you can spend less time in the kitchen. Order online at kirkmarket.ky or visit in-store today. And don't forget to visit the florist at Kirk Market to find the perfect centerpiece for your table. There's no place like Kirk Market for the holidays.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Kay's Fine Jewelry, luxury with a family touch. This holiday season, make memories sparkle with Kay's Fine Jewelry. From diamond rings to their Caribbean-inspired turtle collection, find gifts as unique as our beautiful Cayman Islands. Enjoy a beverage with your holiday shopping and find out why Kay's Fine Jewelry is ranked #1 for shopping in the Caribbean. Take advantage of exclusive holiday discounts on engagement rings, men's jewelry, their iconic Flexi jewelry collection, or explore their luxurious watch selection featuring top brands like Hamilton and Rado. This holiday season, shop Kay's Fine Jewelry, where luxury meets the heart of the Caribbean. Kay's Fine Jewelry, located on Albert Panton Street, across from the House of Parliament.
It's Santa here. Join me and my elves for the Coca-Cola Christmas Truck Parade on Tuesday, 10th December. It's Grand Cayman's cheeriest Christmas tradition. My reindeer will be soaring from West Bay all the way to Spots, starting at West Bay Fire Station at 5:30 p.m., then stopping at Governor Square, Cardinal Avenue, Windsor Park, Walkers Road, South Sound Dock, Shamrock Road, and ending at Cecile Crichton Spots Newlands Community Park. Ho! My elves will be giving away presents throughout the parade. So come on out and join the Christmas cheer. The Coca-Cola Christmas Parade, Tuesday, December 10th.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In another 8 minutes, we're going to be going back to our 8 o'clock news. Meanwhile, the phone lines are open if you want to call in. Our toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. Also, 949-8037, 949-6990. Or WhatsApp number, 925-3261 as well. Checking the WhatsApp messages as they're coming in to make sure that we don't miss anything that you may have sent to us. So, like I said earlier, MP Christopher Saunders has shared with us that the fact that when Parliament resumes this morning, the agenda will deal with amendments to 14 existing acts. Those, and he has summarized those amendments for us. So we have amendments going, and I would urge you, if you have the opportunity, to follow the proceedings of our Parliament live, to please do so. Hopefully they will start on time. They normally will announce or send out notices in terms of what time Parliament will start. Hopefully, it's usually at 10 o'clock. Sometimes they start on time, sometimes they don't. But I would encourage you to please, if you can, listen live. If not, then follow it later on to see precisely what transpires in our Parliament. There's probably going to be one more meeting of Parliament before it is dissolved, and there are important things still to take place. It'll be interesting to see where those four members of the government, former members of the government, where they will sit, where they will be seated in our Parliament, whether or not they will be on the other side of the opposition. So many on that side now, I'm not sure whether or not there's going to be enough room over there for everyone, hopefully. But please follow the proceedings, because many important things will be happening, including amendments to the Banks and Trust Companies Act. There will be an amendment to make the application fee for the grant of a license to be non-refundable. Yeah, people talk about government and, government wasting money and using money for this and using money for that. A lot of the work that government entities do, when you compare what happens in the private sector, many times the fees that we pay do not necessarily represent the amount of work that has to be put in to a particular issue, whether it be an application or otherwise. And many times you are refunded your money. Some of these $100 fees, and government may cost the government $500 to get whatever work is needed to be done that they're only charging you $100 for. So in this particular case, the government is going to amend the act so that the fees for the grant of a license under the Banks and Trust Companies Act will not be refundable. Also, an amendment to the Companies Act to provide for the charging of fees for administrative services. Yep. Expand the list of transactions where express fees may be charged, and validate certain revenues that are collected by the registrar. Again, government putting a charge, what they consider to be a proper charge, on the work that they do. We know in the private sector that they pass those fees on to their clientele, and the fees, the increases that they pass on to their clientele may not be commensurate with the fees that government is charging. For example, if government raises the fee for a particular item to $500, do you think in the private sector that they really charge their client $500 more? Sometimes it's probably they may double it, or or even more. So again, government is trying to put a realistic fee on what they do. The companies and management Act, there will be an amendment to make the application fee for a license to be non-refundable as well. Okay. Exempted Limited Partnership Act amendment to provide for the charging of fees for administrative services and expand the list of transactions where express fees may be charged, introduce new fees, validate the regulations, validate certain revenues that are collected by the registrar. Under the Insurance Act, there will be an amendment to make the application fee for a license and registration to be non-refundable. Also to provide for payment of annual fees by persons registered, to amend the provisions relating to the registration of exempted companies as portfolio insurance companies. Also to validate the charging and collection of annual fees in respect of portfolio insurance companies. Under the Limited Liability Companies Act, there will be amendment to provide a statutory basis for the registrar's collection of fees for several services. Also to validate certain previous revenue collection actions of the registrar. It would seem as if some of those may not have been lawful. I'll use that word cautiously. May not have been following the law, and they're seeking now to validate those. There might be some debate about that. And again, curious to know what input they have had from the industry in relation to this. What has been the response? Under the Limited Liability Partnerships Act, there will be amendment to provide a statutory basis for the registrar's collection of fees for various services, to validate certain previous revenues collected, collection actions by the registrar. So we're seeing that repeated over and over. There was the monetary, got to find that one, Monetary Authority Act, amendments to provide for the regulations prescribing the charging of fees for administrative services, to provide that fees may be prescribed as non-refundable, to repeal and replace Schedule 2, to validate certain revenues collection actions. Then there will be amendments to the Mutual Funds Act as well, the Partnerships Act, the Private Funds Act, Securities Investment Business Act, Virtual Assets Service Providers Act, Information and Communications Technology Act, and all of the above amendments are expected to be completed hopefully today. After today, Parliament will resume on the 11th of December. So we see that it appears as if many entities doing business with the government have been sort of getting away with a lot in terms of fees that they weren't required to pay, but yet government was had to do the work in relation to those applications as well. Folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return, we will be talking about National Heroes Day with representatives from the Ministry of Culture. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time by Foster's is a minute after 8.
Fill your cart and win. It's the 30K Jolly Grocery giveaway at Foster's. This Christmas, we're spreading some holly jolly cheer by filling one lucky shopper's cart with $10,000 worth of groceries. Just purchase any 2 specially marked products from now until December 24th for a chance to win your share of $30,000 worth of groceries. Go to fosters.ky/jolly for more info. Thanks to CeraVe, Maybelline, Garnier, Airwick, Lysol, Dove, and Sun City Produce. Have a holly jolly Christmas at Foster's.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With
With your latest news, I'm April Cummings. The second meeting of the 2024-2025 session of Parliament commences today at 10 a.m. On the agenda, more than 20 bills, along with the presentation of several annual reports from government entities. The majority of the bills are amendments designed to refine and update existing acts. Among the new bills, the Public Transport Bill and Information and Communications Technology Validation Bill, sponsored by the Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing, Infrastructure, Transport, and Development. There are a large number of amendments related to financial services. The bills are posted online at legislation.gov.ky. Of course, we'll be carrying the proceedings live on Breeze 105.3 FM with sequential replays on Radio Cayman each night. It is the wettest season in nearly 20 years. Radio Cayman's Carsley Fuller has the details.
May to November in the Cayman Islands is the wet season, and boy was it wet this year. In fact, the National Weather Service says it was the wettest seen in the jurisdiction since 2005, with 67.7 inches. For those of you like me who need a calculator, that's about 5 feet 5 inches. That's 20 inches more than the climatological average rainfall, which is 47.6 inches. Most of that rain fell in June, when it clocked in more than 20 inches. 5 3/4 of that fell on June 10th alone. The BRAC saw 43 inches of rain this season, the wettest in the past 4 years. Its rainiest day was 6.4 inches seen on November 5th. The National Weather Service says tropical waves, along with the impacts of Hurricane Beryl in July, Hurricane Helene in September, and Hurricane Rafael in early November, contributed to the above-average rainfall and flooding for the season. Average temp in Grand Cayman was 85.5 degrees for the season, the second hottest on record. The National Weather Service says the seasonal average temperature has increased about 1.1 degrees Fahrenheit over the last 10 years. Reporting for Radio Cayman News, I'm Carsley Fuller.
The 2024 Atlantic season saw 18 named storms, 11 hurricanes, 5 of them becoming major ones. Those Christmas breezes are in full effect, and what better way to take advantage of them than by heading to the Botanic Park, which is fully kitted out for the festive season.
Come out and enjoy the beautiful decorations that have been installed recently by the Garden Club of Grand Cayman. And I would welcome everyone to come out, take a break from town, and enjoy the Botanic Park.
General Manager John Lauris tells Radio Cayman each year the Garden Club members volunteer their time to dress the Botanic Park up in handmade holiday decorations. The park is open every day from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. That is your latest local news. I'm April Cummings. Now to the BBC for stories making headlines around the world.
BBC News with David Harper. Civil defence workers from Syria's White Helmets group have been deployed to try and gain access to reported underground floors at the ousted Assad regime's Sudnaya prison. It's believed some prisoners are still in cells. Officials have appealed to former guards for access codes to doors. The rebel coalition says it's working to transfer power to a transitional government. Syria's main rebel group, HTS, remains listed as a terrorist group by many Western countries, although a senior official in Britain has said that's now under review. Some Syrians are trying to get out of the country as they fear what the rebel takeover might bring. Syrian embassy staff in Russia, the country that kept Mr. Assad in power, have raised the flag of the opposition above the building. In other news, the UN Human Rights Chief says more than 5,000 people have been killed in Haiti this year. Volker Turk said more than 180 people have been killed over the weekend in Port-au-Prince, with reports of elderly people being targeted after being accused of witchcraft. Inflation in China hit a 5-month low in November as the economy struggles to gather steam. Prices rose at just 0.2% compared with the previous year. The French film director Christophe Rougeard will go on trial on Monday, accused of sexually abusing a member of his cast when she was 12 years old. Rougeard has denied the allegations. Australia has struck a deal with the tiny Pacific nation of Nauru, agreeing to provide financial aid to limit Chinese influence. Nauru has agreed not to allow a third country to use the island for security purposes. And the world champion Formula One driver Max Verstappen has been ordered to do mandatory community service in Rwanda as punishment for swearing during a news conference. Officials say Verstappen will work with junior competitors while on a scheduled visit to the country. And that's the latest BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At Valley Med Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit Valley Med Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Live happy, live healthy with Valley Med Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
December is here, but there's still time for that Miami trip before Christmas. Cayman Airways has added several extra flights from Grand Cayman to Miami, perfect for a weekend getaway and to catch that increased duty-free allowance for Cayman residents. But hurry, word is getting round, so those extra seats not going to last long. Book your Miami seats online at CaymanAirways.com or call them on 949-2311. All aboard Cayman Airways with extra flights to Miami before Christmas.
The holidays, a time for family, togetherness, and cherishing every moment. But it's also a time to reflect on what truly matters. Hi, I'm Rosanna Dixon. This season, give the gift of security and peace of mind with life insurance, critical illness coverage, and final expense plans. You can ensure your loved ones are protected, no matter what tomorrow brings. Call Rosanna Dixon today at 547-0952. Make those important decisions now so your family's future is safe tomorrow. Because this holiday season, protecting what matters most is the greatest gift of all. Call 547-0952 today.
2025 will be here before you know it. Are you registered to vote? The last voter registration deadline is the 15th of January. Visit elections.ky today to download your registration form. It's quick and easy. Once you filled it out, bring the form along with your original eligibility documents to the elections office, conveniently located on West Bay Road in Baytown Office Suites. Can't make it in person? No problem. Simply email your completed forms and copies of your documents to office@elections.ky. For more information, visit elections.ky, call 949-8047 or email office@elections.ky.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcade, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Synopsis indicate fresh winds along with rough seas are expected over the next 24 hours due to a high-pressure system over the southeastern United States. This high-pressure system is maintaining a tight pressure gradient over the northwest Caribbean. A gradual decrease in winds are expected from tomorrow afternoon as the gradient begins to weaken across the northwest Caribbean. Forecast for today calling for partly clouded to cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers in the afternoon. Temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Winds will be east to northeast at 15 to 20 knots. And seas will be moderate to rough with wave heights of 5 to 7 feet. A small craft advisory remains in effect for today and tonight. And the forecast for tonight calling for mainly fair skies with 20% chance of showers. Temperatures dipping to the mid-70s tonight. Your winds will be east to northeast, 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be moderate to rough with wave heights of 5 to 7 feet, mainly along the northern and eastern coast. Low tide will be this morning at 10:58, high tide this afternoon at 4:39, and a low tide again tonight at 11:27. The sun will set this evening at 5:47 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:49. And the outlook is calling for continued decrease in winds and seas through Wednesday afternoon as the pressure gradient continues to weaken across the northwest Caribbean. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you want to go scuba diving on your vacation, don't bedazzle your wetsuit. And you think you look great, but what you don't realize is that you look like a shiny, scaly fish. And it won't take long for a shark to notice you. Next thing you know, you're busting out every karate move you got. But if you're smart, you'll have CG medical insurance and get airlifted out to the closest hospital.
Get coverage for emergency evacuations. CG Brit-K. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Brit-K, where people come first.
Life's best moments are precious. Taking the time to cherish them with those we love is the most important thing in the world. At Cineco, we've got you covered for all these moments, helping you take care of your health, supporting your family's next move, and making sure those you care about are protected on the road. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
The holiday season is here, and St. Ignatius Catholic Church invites you to join them for their Christmas cheers and annual Christmas fundraiser prize draw on Saturday, December 14th, starting at 7:15 p.m. Come and share the Christmas spirit at the Christmas cheers event with Carolyn, performances by dancers, a popular storyteller, the church choirs, talented vocalists, and musicians. Also, enjoy complimentary seasonal refreshments. Then at 8:15, the exciting grand prize drawing. First prize is an incredible $25,000, plus lots of other prizes, including thousands of dollars in CI and U.S. cash. Tickets are just $25 and are available at the St. Ignatius Church office, Funky Tanks, Island Cleaners, and from church members. Look out for sellers at the supermarkets, Kamana Bay, and even the credit union. Remember, ticket holders don't have to be present to win. All proceeds support the St. Ignatius Facilities Development Fund, School Scholarship Fund, and Community Outreach. Join us for the season's joy and generosity. Saturday, December 14th at 7:15 p.m. at St. Ignatius on Walkers Road.
Can you tell me, what does a turtle do on his birthday? He celebrates!
Celebrate your loved one's special birthday with a birthday shout-out live on For the Record with Mr. ORRETT Connor, only on Radio Cayman. WhatsApp your loved one's name to 925-3261. That's 925-3261. Radio Cayman's birthday shout-outs live on For the Record with Mr. ORRETT Connor every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Brought to you by Coca-Cola. Available across the Cayman Islands. From Tortuga Wholesalers. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And by Superior Auto. They keep your car in tune. Call 949-9570 or 525-9571.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning. Let's take a look at what's happening on the roads. Coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, steady traffic, as well as Agnes Way, and also on the Esterly Tibbetts Highway. Slight delays expected. On North Sound Road, traffic is steady in both directions, and moderate flow of traffic heading towards the Industrial Park area. Elsewhere on our roads, on Shamrock Road further up, traffic is moving on moderately in both directions, as well as on Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue. Edward Street flowing moderately as well. Now, if you've seen accidents or incidents, please give us a call here at Radio Cayman 949-6990. On the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is flowing at a good pace in both directions. And coming from the West Bay four-way stop, flowing moderately. Slow-moving traffic on Crew Road heading to Georgetown. Expect some delays. And heading east on Crew Road, traffic is moderate. That's what's happening on the roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
As we embark on the holiday season, a time for friends, family, and plenty of food, ask yourself this question. Where are the fruits and vegetables? 14% of Cayman residents do not eat any fruits or vegetables at all. The results of the Ministry of Health and Wellness's STEPS 2023 National Health Survey are in. To learn more, log on to www.gov.ky/steps. Let's step into wellness together, Cayman.
The new KFC nuggets have arrived. That unlike the no-gets, ours are handmade using 100% white meat, unlike the no-gets. At KFC, we hand-bread every day to achieve the perfect flavor. After you try our delicious and crispy nuggets in the original recipe, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
Boys and girls, get ready to celebrate the Christmas season. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman invites you to our annual All-Island Children's Christmas Party on Sunday the 15th of December from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Lions Community Center. Enjoy an afternoon full of excitement with Santa, presents, games, cotton candy, bouncing castles, and much more for children 14 and under. Need a ride? No problem. District buses will provide transportation starting at 12 p.m. Visit our Facebook page, Roar Lions Club GCM, for pickup times and locations. Return buses will leave at 4:15 p.m. Don't miss the magic, the laughter, and the joy of Christmas. The annual All-Island Children's Christmas Party, Sunday the 15th of December from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Lions Community Center. Brought to you by the Lions Club of Grand Cayman, serving the Cayman Islands for over 5 decades.
With ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me a representative from the Ministry of Culture.
Yes.
Yes. Miss Takiyah Smith. She's the Public Relations Manager in the ministry. We're going to be talking about National Heroes Day nominations, which remains open, and she will tell you about the closing date. She will also give you some background information, or I'll share that information with you. So on National Heroes Day, we will be celebrating the icons of business and entrepreneurship, which is a tribute to Caymanian business ingenuity, creativity, success, hard work, innovation, and leadership. And believe you me, folks, we had all of that in the Cayman Islands. We still have it today as well. But those days, those were the people and the qualities that laid the foundation for the Cayman Islands. So this year's theme highlights the remarkable achievements and contributions of Caymanians who have shaped the nation's business landscape through their innovation, dedication, and leadership. Ms. Smith, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
And good morning, and thank you so much for having me. I'm here in my capacity. I am the Public Relations Manager for the Department of Communications, and I collaborate with the Ministry of Border Control, Labor and Culture. Apologies if I got it out of order.
That's okay.
Yeah, we work together to put on national events, and National Heroes Day is one of them. So I'm happy to support them today and to speak to everyone on the radio about 2025 National Heroes Day. This year is a very exciting year. Nominations have been extended to December 14th to allow the Cayman Islands community to really call out those persons, those stalwarts, those organizations that have really laid the foundation of Cayman Islands, Caymanian owned especially, commerce, an investment within our own shores. There are 3 categories: legacy builders, which are our early pioneers, modern visionaries, which are pioneers, and then innovators of impact, which is a special category. And we can go into what each of those the criterion for each of those categories. But I just wanted to just make a call. If you are interested in nominating someone, please go ahead and do not hesitate. Our deadline has been extended to December 14th, but I believe it's a hard deadline, and it would be very, very remiss opportunity if come January, if you thought of someone and you didn't nominate them. National Heroes Day is one of our most prestigious prestigious days, and Heroes Day honors are one of our most prestigious awards, and I think that it brings an element of national pride that cannot be replicated anywhere else. To receive a National Heroes Day honor is quite an honor indeed.
And there is unlikely to be another opportunity to do so if they don't do so now, simply because the subject area will change, in terms of what is being highlighted in future National Heroes Day celebrations as well.
Yes, it does change year over year. I've been supporting this project since I rejoined the government 4 years ago, and every year the theme is different in order to highlight a different subset or section of our community in the works that we do. So last year we would remember that we celebrated cultural artisans and icons, and then now this year is a very exciting year, the icons of business and entrepreneurship. So I think that I do implore, again, the public to engage with the nomination process. I know persons may shy away from it because it seems like there's a lot of documentation to submit, or the nomination form may seem complicated, but it just takes a bit of time. If you consider what you would be spending the time otherwise doing, it's just an investment in your own history and culture at the end of the day, and making sure that someone you believe has worked hard is recognized nationally for their efforts. And I could just speak shortly to that criteria.
Go right ahead.
To nominate someone for Heroes Day, you have to complete the nomination form. Our nomination form is digital. It's on gov.ky/labor. That's gov.ky/labor. There also is an opportunity to upload the resume or biography of the nominee. So if you have that information, as much as you can, please just outline in one Word document the details of their key business milestones, their contributions to the Caymanian business landscape, and highlights from their career. Proof of their business registration, and if that's not available, any historical record, testimonial, pictures, anything that might demonstrate that they actually did hold a business at some point, especially for our posthumous nominees. And then 2 letters of recommendation from business leaders or community leaders, clients, anyone that can attest to the contributions of this entity or this individual.
Okay. And those letters of nomination,
letters of recommendation.
How crucial are those? Because you may have people who go back many years. I would use an example. Mr. Shirley McField, who owned a store. Now, there are probably still persons alive who worked for Mr. Shirley. But there are probably a lot of persons who interacted with him on a business level who may not be alive anymore. How much weight will be placed on those recommendation letters?
From my experience from sitting on a previous committee, every application is looked at holistically. I think what the criterion is asked for, it's very firm in what's being asked for, but also the committee or the persons that are reviewing the applications will also have to give consideration to special circumstances. Okay. So I again, if you feel that there's some elements that you are not able to satisfy, please give a detailed explanation as to why. It's better to have submitted and nominated knowing that you've made your best attempt than not to nominate at all. Again, but we do encourage that you have everything that you need. And then also, this is something that I know might also have been a deterrent for some of those older entities and the older persons wishing to nominate. Please grab your grandchildren, grab young persons that are near you who are tech savvy, and just by oral tradition, please nominate that way and get them involved. Allow them to be a part of history by being informed and relaying your thoughts and your opinions in these nominations. And I don't want technology to be a deterrent for our more seniors who would have been there and who can recount on those stalwarts, especially in that legacy builder category. So please, and then younger persons in the community, if you know of someone, a senior, who would be interested in nominating, maybe even themselves, if they previously owned a business prior to 1970, please make yourselves available. It's a community award and it requires a community effort.
Okay. We still have about 2 minutes before we go to our first commercial break. So we have pointed out that the nomination has been extended until the 14th of December. I want to talk about some of the categories.
Okay.
Because
so
I on my show, when the notification first came out, and I focused more on those persons who were in business, but more in the retail business, and I got an onslaught of calls and names of persons who were especially engaged in shopkeeping. and I realized afterwards that while I made the place to focus on that, that's not the only category as well. But we know that many persons in the Cayman Islands, many families were engaged in shopkeeping.
Yes, of course, and then I don't want us to shy away from nominating those persons as well. However, the criterion is open to anyone who founded a new and innovative first of its kind business in the Cayman Islands prior to 1970. That's for our early pioneers. And then that the business contributed significantly to the local economy, community, or culture for over 20 years. And it demonstrated leadership in building the foundations of an enduring Caymanian business culture, helping to set standards for future generations. So in order not to sway public opinion, I can't suggest any businesses that come to mind, but I am triggered. I think about just those businesses that are still standing on the waterfront, maybe on Eastern Avenue. We do have those foundation businesses and those foundation business people that did bring first of its kind or innovative business to the Cayman Islands, and they deserve recognition for sure. So just give it some thought. I hope this sparks water cooler conversation. I hope this sparks conversation at home. Think of those long-standing Caymanian families who started off as merchants and so on. Just consider yourself joining in a piece of history and do nominate. No matter the outcome, you've known that you've played your part and contributed to historical record.
Okay, folks, the voice that you're hearing there is the voice of Miss Takiyah Smith, who's the public relations manager for the Cayman Islands government. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, the conversation will continue talking about the nominations for National Heroes Day. The theme is celebrating the icons of business and entrepreneurship in the Cayman Islands. Don't change that dial, please. Stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
December is here, but there's still time for that Miami trip before Christmas. Cayman Airways has added several extra flights from Grand Cayman to Miami, perfect for a weekend getaway and to catch that increased duty-free allowance for Cayman residents. But hurry, word is getting round, so those extra seats not going last long. Book your Miami seats online at CaymanAirways.com or call them on 949-2311. All aboard Cayman Airways with extra flights to Miami before Christmas.
This holiday season, let Kirk Market do the roasting so you can do the hosting. Visit in-store or shop online and order your traditional family feast, complete with classic roasted turkey and ham, all the tasty sides and trimmings. Let the chefs at Kirk Market be your holiday helpers so you can spend less time in the kitchen. Order online at kirkmarket.ky or visit in-store today. And don't forget to visit the florist at Kirk Market to find the perfect centerpiece for your table. There's no place like Kirk Market for the holidays.
This is For the Record.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're talking about the National Heroes Day celebration, which is held on the fourth Monday in January, I believe it is, right?
It is.
Fourth Monday in January. The nomination timeline has been extended until the 14th.
Yeah, till this Saturday, December 14th.
Right.
And I believe that's a midnight cutoff. However, the sooner the better.
Yes. Don't wait until the last minute. And of course, in the studio with us, we have Ms. Takiyah Smith, who's the Manager for Communications with the government of the Cayman Islands, and she's here talking about the registration process. I'm going to diverge a little bit, and Caymanians listening this morning, who that voice is on television, who that face is that I'm seeing, and of course, stranger to Radio Cayman as well. Tell us about your background.
So funny enough, this studio is very nostalgic for me. I am a former Youth Flex host and producer. If you know, you know. I actually was introduced to communications through the broadcast arms, through Mr. James Miles and his efforts with young persons that he had made for years and years. And then I went on to university and I chose to study communications with a concentration in public relations, but always with a passion for broadcast.
Okay.
So hoping that when I get time to be more like you, Mr. OC.
Don't wait until retirement, though.
Yeah, I'm hoping to find my way back. And advocating for anyone has been one of my primary uses of my voice. I have report cards that always said I chat too much. So I levy that into a communications and public relations career where I get to chat on behalf of the government interest now, and make sure that the public is aware of policies, changes, programs, events, anything that's going on. So it's been a pleasure. I've been manager for public relations now for just shy of a year. And every day is a learning experience. I haven't been bored. And for example, I have a day like today where I actually get to step away from my desk and speak to the Cayman Islands community and make sure that they're informed. So it's a blessing, and I thank Radio Cayman for the start.
Okay. What do we say to those persons whose family members may have been nominated in other areas? For instance, the dive industry. They may have been recognized by the dive industry for their innovation, for developing the dive industry here in the Cayman Islands. They would have received it for that, but that shouldn't in any way inhibit them from nominating them, for this National Heroes Day Award as well. As a
One-
matter of fact, it should be easier if they have
They did
submitted
that
it before. Yeah.
One of my best examples of that is Miss Reba Dilbert. So a community icon, we know her. Every National Heroes Day, she comes out with her multiple honors and her insignia, and she's been nominated in multiple categories over the years, and successfully been honored. And she wears them. It's kind of like how a soldier would wear his stripes. Because if you've worked and you've contributed, especially if you've been in Cayman for decades on end, it makes sense that you've made impact in multiple areas. So don't feel that you can be nominated too much to be awarded too much. Especially if you are a part of one of those families. We know that we have our founding families here in Cayman and persons who have contributed in many ways. Again, just be a part of history. Make sure that's documented, because when you go to retell those stories to future generations, you want to say how well-rounded that individual is. So please don't shy away from nominating again. And if you haven't been successful in nominations before, this might be the category where you get to shine. So please, you are the person you're nominating gets to shine. So please don't shy away from it.
Okay, Ms. Smith, I think we were going to go over the other categories as well.
Yes. So before we went to commercial break, I spoke about legacy builders, which are early pioneers, and the criterion for that. The next category are modern visionaries. So this is for companies or individuals who have founded groundbreaking businesses in the Cayman Islands and have been operational and successful for at least the past 20 years, or for at least 20 years if they are no longer in operation. The business has to have demonstrated resilience and adaptability, responding to changing markets and cultural landscapes here in Cayman. And they should exhibit a visionary leadership that propelled the business to long-term success and contributed positively to the development of the Cayman Islands business ecosystem. So that's our second category. That's for pioneers. Again, I cannot tell you who to nominate, but there are those businesses that do come to mind. So again, please have those conversations and make sure that you do nominate by going on gov.ky/labor. And then finally, our special category is the innovators of impact. So this is open to especially younger businesses. For it to be selected for this category, individual must have demonstrated leadership in driving significant change within the business, industry, or community through innovative practices, market disruptions, or fostering a shift in cultural or economic norms. So if you think about some of those businesses that came online during COVID and have been able to stay online, those are some examples of persons that you could nominate. And this includes leading digital transformation, adapting to new regulations, or championing sustainability. Must have founded or operated businesses that made a change to the economy, community, or culture, even if it has not been established for 20 years. So again, I'm thinking of those millennial-owned businesses, those younger businesses. Please consider those persons, and demonstrating leadership through decision-making, innovation, or social entrepreneurship. And the category must be used to recognize a founder of a business that acted as a cultural ambassador, whether within the islands or internationally. So companies that promote Caymanian heritage, values, products globally, and raise the profile of our islands through international recognition, trade, or partnerships.
Okay. You got Mike. Keep on going.
Yeah. So again, I just wanted to remind you of the required documentation for all categories. That's that completed nomination form. That's on gov.ky/labor. The resume or biography of the nominee. Business registration documents. Mr. OC, you and I had a conversation about that. Some of those older businesses may not have business registration documents, but for those, it's important to provide historical records, whether that's newspaper clippings, testimonials, photographs of that business to show that it was in fact operational at a point in time. And then 2 letters of recommendation from credible sources, business leaders, community leaders, or clients, attesting to the nominee's impact, leadership, and contributions. And then also additionally for the other categories, for early categories, written accounts are valuable to add to applications, and also evidence of contributions to the community. And then for modern visionaries, articles, press releases, media reports that highlight the launch of the business, especially since it's a new innovative business, and then stakeholder testimonials. And for our innovators of impact category, records of the business promoting Caymanian culture internationally, such as participation in trade shows, export of local products, or global partnerships, and industry awards from industry leaders or bodies recognizing the nominee as a change agent and highlighting successful innovative strategies.
Okay. Now, we know that the dateline has been extended. We know that the Heroes Day celebrations will be on the 27th, I think, of January 2025. I think that I looked it up, and that should be the date. A lot of work to be done between now and then. Once those nominations, have been received, how can we impress upon those persons who have an intention to submit nominations but have not done so yet, the timeline, because they have to be fair for those persons who are making the preparations, who will be considering the nominations and everything. How crucial, is that? And while I have the mic, I know that you're only scheduled to be here until 8:45, but I believe we're going to probably have a little bit more to talk about. So I'm going to ask you, if you would agree to stay at least until 9 o'clock so that we can cover everything that you want to cover as well.
That'd be fine. I have no problem with it hanging out a
great.
little bit longer. The importance of National Heroes Day overall, when we, at its inception, was to recognize those persons who are nation builders.
Mm-hmm.
And year over year, we honor persons who have made significant contributions to our community in different areas and different sectors, because our nation is still continuing to be built. So if you know of someone who is deserving in your eyes of this award and they have met the criterion for these categories, please do not hesitate to nominate them. As we continue to grow and develop as a country, these historic records are going to become more and more precious, more and more valuable, especially for the education of our young people. So we are able to explain that we did not just arrive at this point that we're at now. It's very, very important. If you feel deterred by the amount of content that you have to put behind the nominations, just be reminded of the caliber of the award. Mr. O.C. and I were speaking off air, and it's very similar to when you go to get your degree from school. You have to show all your credentials and make sure that you're able to say that you are worthy and demonstrated that you can have that post-nominal behind your name. So it's that standard that the National Heroes Day honors bears, and we want to make sure that the person you nominate, whether it's yourself, whether it's someone who's passed and gone, or someone who's new and emerging as someone you want to keep going and keep motivated, can look at that honor and really feel the pride, the national pride that it's supposed to instill within you.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. You use the phrase there, whether or not the person is nominated by someone or nominate themselves as well. And there may be that possibility that people don't realize that they can nominate themselves, as well. And we will talk about that as soon as we return from the commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Are you passionate about making a difference in young lives? The Ministry of Education's Overseas Scholarship is your pathway to becoming a transformative classroom teacher. Confirm your eligibility or apply at www.moescholarships.gov.ky. Have questions? Email the Scholarship Secretariat Unit at scholarships@gov.ky. Applications for the 2025 to 2026 academic year close on January 31st, 2025. This message is brought to you from the Ministry of Education.
Hi, Radio Cayman listeners. My name is Raymond Singh, account executive with Radio Cayman, your #1 community radio station. Wishing you a safe holiday season, a very Merry Christmas, and a fantastic New Year. At times, the world may seem to be in chaos, but never forget, one person can change the world for the better. So this coming year, making your resolution to keep the beautiful holiday cheer going throughout the new year. Merry Christmas, Cayman.
With ORRETT Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. My pleasure to have in the studio with me the communications, the public relations manager for the Cayman Islands government, Miss Takiyah Smith. And for those of you, you heard her talk about, her background and how she was introduced to radio, working with Mr. Miles, and again goes to show you how we can develop our own talent once we provide the foundation, we provide the avenues for them to do so. So many positive things happen in the Cayman Islands and happen to our Caymanians. Yeah, there are negative things that do occur as well, but we want to accentuate the positive, and here we have a clear example, of that in the person of Miss Takiyah Smith. I believe we do have a caller, so let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Connor. This is Carrie from the BRAC.
Good morning.
Good morning to your panel.
Good morning.
I have a query. For example, we've had 2 major hurricanes in this country, which would have taken away a lot of people's documents and information that they may have held over the years to provide evidence to nominate individuals for this award that are very deserving of it. I mean, for example, from my knowledge of everything, the first laundry service in the BRAC was by my grandmother, Eleanor Tibbetts. I stand to be corrected if she wasn't the only one. But I know she wasn't the only one doing it after a while, but I was told that she was the first. And what proof can we show to put that in an application for her to be in the running for any sort of recognition for that sort of entrepreneurship? And that was, I think she started that like in the 40s, 50s, somewhere in that timeline, and her biggest client was the late Mr. Aston Ruddy. I remember handing him his clothes that were crisp as can be, because back then they used to sort of rinse them in some starch water so that they would be very stiff when they dried and you were pressing them. And I used to watch how she did the ironing, the heated iron, you heat it over the coals something. I don't know how she did that. I can't remember, to iron the clothing for people. So I'm just wondering, how do we go to nominate her when we no longer have any proof of that, because everything is gone?
Thank you, Miss Carrie. That's a great question, and your grandmother sounded like she was an amazing entrepreneur. What I do encourage is please nominate nonetheless, and that testimonial that you gave, maybe even getting a supplementary letter of recommendation from Mr. Aston Ruddy's family, other persons in the community who might have known your best application and your best attempt, and being able to justify why there may be an absence of certain evidence, I think we'll be able to look at it at a case-by-case basis. So don't feel deterred from submitting it. If you have those accounts, and especially you were a participant in the business, please feel free to include that in your nomination. Again, while the criterion is in place to make sure that we are honoring the correct people, there's exceptions to every circumstance. And I'd rather know that an application was made and revised by the entities that have to revise them, and then a decision was made thereafter, than for you to feel that you were exempted from the onset. So please don't be afraid. Even if you end up finding an iron that she used and take a photograph of it, if there's anything you have, please use any evidence that you may stumble upon, but those written testimonials will probably be your best friend in that instance.
Okay, I appreciate that very much. Thank you for clearing that up. Because, yeah, I was hesitant because when I saw the criterion, I was like, whoa, how am I going to prove all of this now? This is going to be a long, I guess, boisterous adventure. But anyway, I'll give it a shot. I'll make some calls and see if I can get a couple of people to give like sworn affidavits if that's what's going to take. But I think she needs to get some recognition for establishing that as an entrepreneur in this country. Thank you.
Thank you as well.
Okay, thank the caller as well. And the last part that she said there about getting the recognition, but they have to bear in mind that is not the committee's responsibility or the ministry's responsibility. That has to come from the public, from those persons, who know it as well. When committees do it and people are left off of it, then, various reasons are assigned for that. They didn't want to recognize this person because of XYZ.
For sure. Because again, in years gone by, I've heard the legacies of nomination committees coming directly under fire for unsuccessful applications that might have been incomplete. Sometimes there have been applications that have been submitted with just somebody's name, not their number, not their age, not anything that they've done, but it's just a name that was put forward and considered a nomination. So we have to remember that the onus of or the responsibility of nomination is on the public, and that's a beautiful thing, because the government could easily just award persons that have made contributions, but including the public from start to finish in the nomination to the celebration ensures that that level of national pride that I spoke about is demonstrated and heightened through this process, where you don't feel that it's favoritism. It's definitely recognizing persons who have worked hard and who are deserving of these awards.
Okay. The question of self-nomination.
Yes, I mentioned it before. Yes. So please feel free to nominate yourself. If you are a business person who believes that you have satisfied a criterion, nominate yourself just as you would for any type of trade awards or industry awards. This is not a chance to be shy. I promise you will not be exposed as having nominated yourself. But again, representing yourself and as your business, I have experience in marketing as well. There's no such thing as bad press, and this is amazing publicity at the end of the day for yourself and your business. Please, if you know that you've done good work, applaud yourself. I know that in Caymanian culture we don't or Caribbean culture overall, we say self-praise is no recommendation. But in this case, please praise yourself. Please acknowledge the work that you've done and make that nomination. And at the end of the day, who better to nominate you and to speak out of your business's story than you? So I would strongly encourage self-nomination, and that way you can't say, well, no one thought of me. Think of yourself.
Good point. Excellent point. Excellent point. Yeah, we have to dispense with the vanity and get out there and
no, in this case, vanity is needed.
Yes. Okay. So want to give you an opportunity. We still have 5 minutes left, 5 minutes left, to anything that you feel that needs to be repeated, and closing comments as well in terms of the urgency of the situation. Those persons who may know someone who wants to nominate someone as well, and they're listening this morning, they need to pass that information on. The deadline is, quickly approaching, as well, and you have to have a deadline because there is so much work that needs to be done after that as well.
Yes, the deadline actually passed. The deadline has been extended to this Saturday, December 14th. The nomination form can be accessed on gov.ky/labor, and it's a formal application that asks for a lot of details of the nominee, their business, and a description of their contributions. In that form, you'll be able to upload the nominee's resume or biography, and also their business registration documents if they exist. If not, you can, if those, for those early pioneers who were not able to benefit from formal business registration, historical records, news articles, testimonials, photographs. Like our caller from the BRAC mentioned, is she's able to prove that, show any of her grandmother's tools that were used to produce her business services, anything of the sort, any evidence that the business did in fact exist. And then also 2 letters of recommendation, at least 2. You're welcome to get more, from business leaders, community leaders, clients, attesting to the nominee's impact. And then also for the additional categories, having evidence. So any additional evidence, if you received awards, especially for the innovators category, if you have records of promoting the Caymanian culture or Caymanian business culture internationally, for modern visionaries, articles, press releases, media reports that show the launch of the business, launches of a prototype, stakeholder testimonials that affirm the impact that the individual has had on modern business culture, and then also for those early pioneers, those written accounts, and then evidence of contributions to cultural preservation, whether that's charitable activities, participating in local festivals, events, sponsorships, or supporting Caymanian traditions. So the and of those additional items I mentioned, those are recommended, but they're not mandatory. What's mandatory is the nomination form, biography, business registration documents, and letters of recommendation. So it sounds like a lot, but it really isn't when you consider the level of the honor that's being bestowed on the person.
Okay, and let's remind them again of the dateline, the 14th.
It's the 14th of December. And then you do access the form by gov.ky/labor. That's gov.ky/labor. If you have any questions as well, I believe that you can submit them on the website as well if you are not sure. And again, if for those young persons who know of seniors who may have trouble with technology, please lend yourself, lend your services, so you can make sure that they are able to communicate, and you may learn something in the process as well. I'm tempted to go home to see if my grandmother has anyone she has in mind to nominate.
Okay, and contact information is provided on that form as well, in the event that the committee needs to contact the person submitting to get additional information or whatever.
Thank you so much for raising that, Mr. OC. Please, nominators, they're going to ask for your contact details in the event that there's additional evidence or questions that might need to be asked. Please be sure to submit that, just because even to invite the persons, it may be difficult to get a hold of them. So just please make your information available. It is compliant with FOI and data protection, so you don't have to worry about your details being shared outside of what they've been captured for. So please to ensure that you fill out the form to its entirety as best as you can, especially with those pertinent details such as contact details.
And Ms. Smith, one more time, just remind our listening and viewing audience, of the theme for this year's National Heroes Day.
The theme is a robust theme for a robust for large-scale awards. It's celebrating the icons of business and entrepreneurship, a tribute to Cayman business ingenuity, creativity, success, hard work, innovation, and leadership. And it's to highlight the achievements and contributions of Caymanians who have shaped Cayman's business landscape through the dedication and leadership, while also being innovative.
Okay. Ms. Smith, I want to thank you. Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure. I would love to come back again someday.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think you want to repeat this at least some more until the 14th or before the 14th. So we will try to make some room for you to come back on to remind persons as well, if not in that capacity, in some other capacity as well. Okay. Folks, we've reached the top of the hour headline news. When we return, the phone lines will be open. Remind you our toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. Also 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp number 925-3261. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
I'm April Cummings with your latest headlines. You're invited to watch the live stream of the grand opening of the long-awaited Poinciana Rehabilitation Center tomorrow afternoon. The campus will cater to local people in need of long-term residential mental health care, a service that traditionally has necessitated sending patients overseas. The grand opening will be live streamed on the CIG-TV YouTube channel starting at 3:30 p.m. In international headlines, Syria's prime minister said today that most cabinet ministers are still working from offices in Damascus after rebels entered the capital this weekend and overthrew President Bashar Assad. Streams of refugees crossed in from neighboring countries hoping for a more peaceful future, but there were already signs of difficulties ahead for the rebel alliance, which is now in control of much of the country, led by a former senior al-Qaeda militant who severed ties with the extremist group years ago and has promised representative government and religious tolerance. The rebel command said today it would not be telling women how to dress. Israel, meantime, said it is carrying out airstrikes on suspected chemicals weapons sites and long-range rockets to keep them from falling into the hands of extremists. Israel has also seized a buffer zone from inside Syria after the withdrawal of Syrian troops. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said today that he is open to the potential deployment of Western troops in Ukraine to guarantee the country's security as part of a broad effort to end the almost 3-year war with Russia. The deployment would be a step toward Ukraine joining NATO, Zelensky said in a post on his Telegram channel. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump is seeking to bring about a ceasefire and met with Zelensky in Paris on Saturday. But Zelensky said today he would approach outgoing U.S. President Joe Biden about Ukraine's possible NATO membership because he's still in office, while Trump doesn't yet have legal rights to decide on the matter. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
This holiday season, let Kirk Market do the roasting so you can do the hosting. Visit in-store or shop online and order your traditional family feast, complete with classic roasted turkey and ham, all the tasty sides and trimmings. Let the chefs at Kirk Market be your holiday helpers so you can spend less time in the kitchen. Order online at kirkmarket.ky or visit in-store today. And don't forget to visit the florist at Kirk Market to find the perfect centerpiece for your table. There's no place like Kirk Market for the holidays.
For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Our phone lines are open. The toll-free number 1-800-348255 or other landline numbers 949 8037 949 6990 or WhatsApp number 925-3261. Don't forget that our Parliament convenes this morning as well. We are in interesting times. It will be interesting just as far as the optics are concerned to see who sits where, in our Parliament when we consider 4 members of the government leaving. Is there enough room on the opposite side for everyone to sit? Seating arrangements will be extremely important. We know, for instance, that in the past, in those communist countries where information was not always readily available, that when they had their party congresses and things of that nature, those Western intelligence agencies would look at and see who was seated where who was seated or not seated at all, to get some take on the sort of leadership and the hierarchy of the Communist Party system in places like in China and in Russia as well. Not saying that we're comparing our parliament to those, but it'll be interesting to see exactly who sits where in our parliament. And of course, MP Chris Saunders has shared with us some of the amendments that will be brought to our parliament as well, and I will share those with you. Just one of our listeners wanted to know. They said that they had just signed in whether or not the person has to be Caymanian born, and that is extremely important as well. I'll try to see if I can look through the criteria to determine that and share that with our audience as well, and in particular the person who inquired about it. Can't do it while I'm talking. In this particular case, I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. But I will certainly get that information for the person who inquired about that. Meanwhile, let's go over what MP Chris Saunders has shared with us in relation to the amendments that will be going to our parliament. And I'm going to start from scratch with this again. His message would have gone out by now that he circulated to all of his groups and everyone else. And he pointed out that Parliament resumes this morning, the 9th of December, and that today's agenda will deal with amendments to 14 existing acts. These amendments are summarized as follows. So we had the Banks and Trust Companies Act, where amendments will be put forward to make the application fee for the grant of a license to not be non-refundable. For the Companies Act, an amendment to provide for the charging of fees for administrative services, to expand the list of transactions where express fees may be charged, validate certain revenues that are collected by the registrar. For the Companies Management Act, there will be proposed amendments to make the application fee for a license to be non-refundable. Okay, yeah, because a lot of work will go into considering that application, and whether or not you pay a fee should not hinge on the success of your application. If you're successful, the fee is there. If you're unsuccessful, work still had to be done, so the fee should be, for that as well. And then, of course, a lot of people criticize government and say, when you pay government money and you have to get it back, it takes the longest time in the world to get a refund from government as well. So at least you won't have to worry about the refund in this particular case if this proposed amendment is successful. For the Exempted Limited Partnerships Act, there will be proposed amendments to provide for the charging of fees, again, for administrative services. Also to expand the list of transactions where express fees may be charged. To introduce new fees. To validate the regulations, validate certain revenues that are collected by the registrar. The Insurance Act, amendment to make the application fee for a license and registration to be non-refundable. to provide for payment of annual fees by persons registered, to amend the provisions relating to the registration of exempted companies as portfolio insurance companies, to validate the charging and collection of annual fees in respect of portfolio insurance companies. Under the Limited Liability Companies Act, proposal to amend amendment to provide a statutory basis for the registrar's collection of fees for several services, to validate certain previous revenue collection actions of the registrar, for the Limited Partnership Act amendment to provide a statutory basis for the registrar's collection of fees for various services, to validate certain previous revenue collection actions of the registrar. Under the Monetary Authority Act, there's a proposed amendment to provide for the regulations prescribing the charging of fees for administrative services, to provide that fees may be prescribed as non-refundable, to repeal and replace Schedule 2, to validate certain revenue collection actions. In the Mutual Funds Act, amendments to provide for the charging of fees for certain transactions, to make application fees for a license non-refundable, to validate certain revenue collection actions. In the Partnerships Act, amendments to provide for the name convention for limited partnerships, to provide for the registrar's collection of fees for various services, to validate certain revenue collection actions. Private Funds Act amendment to provide for the charging of fees for certain transactions, to make the application fee for license non-refundable, to validate certain revenue collection actions. Then there's amendments to the Securities Investment Business Act, Virtual Assets Act, Information and Communications Technology Act, and all of those amendments are expected to be completed today as well. And I'm sure that there would have been industry feedback on those. We know that one of the things that isn't in there is the fees in relation to entities similar to the credit union, that $200,000 fee that was being proposed as well. We do have a caller, but Ms. Susan, why don't we grab the commercial break, and then we can take the caller uninterrupted after that. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
December is here, but there's still time for that Miami trip before Christmas. Cayman Airways has added several extra flights from Grand Cayman to Miami, perfect for a weekend getaway and to catch that increased duty-free allowance for Cayman residents. But hurry, word is getting round, so those extra seats not going to last long. Book your Miami seats online at CaymanAirways.com or call them on 949-2311. All aboard Cayman Airways with extra flights to Miami before Christmas.
The Coca-Cola Christmas Parade is back tomorrow, Tuesday, December 10th. Radio Cayman will be bringing you coverage throughout the parade. Starting from the Cayman Turtle Center at 5:30 p.m. Stops will include West Bay Fire Station, Governor's Square, Cardinal Avenue, Windsor Park, Walkers Road, South Sound Dock, Shamrock Road, ending at Cecile Crichton Spots Newlands Community Park. The Coca-Cola Christmas Parade happening tomorrow, Tuesday, December 10th.
This holiday season, let Kirk Market do the roasting so you can do the hosting. Visit in-store or shop online and order your traditional family feast, complete with classic roasted turkey and ham, all the tasty sides and trimmings. Let the chefs at Kirk Market be your holiday helpers so you can spend less time in the kitchen. Order online at kirkmarket.ky or visit in store today. And don't forget to visit the florist at Kirk Market to find the perfect centerpiece for your table. There's no place like Kirk Market for the holidays.
As we embark on the holiday season, a time for friends, family, and plenty of food, ask yourself this question: where are the fruits and vegetables? 14% of Cayman residents do not eat any fruits or vegetables at all. The results of the Ministry of Health and Wellness's STEPS 2023 National Health Survey are in. To learn more, log on to www.gov.ky/steps. Let's step into wellness together, Cayman.
A $5,000 award is being offered for the return of a missing dog that goes by the name of Spiky Haggis. Spiky is white cream in color and is a Pomeranian mix. He is a small dog that has a distinctive scar above his left hip. Spiky went missing mid-November in the area of Selkirk Drive and Bimini Drive. Cayman Vets is asking that if you have seen Spiky, a white Pomeranian mixed dog, to take a picture and send it to 525-5838 or call 525-5838 with information that could lead to his return.
I've got some beautiful clothes. I know just where they go. Puritan Cleaners.
Puritan Cleaners is pleased to announce the opening and closing hours of their 2 locations during December 2024 until further notice. Savannah Countryside, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Saturday. Phone 946-1884. The main store on 337 Eastern Avenue, Georgetown. Open 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Saturday. Phone 949-7104. These hours will be in place while we monitor customers' demands after reopening. Seamstress is on duty to do your repairs and adjustments. Puritan Cleaners offers 7% off prepay on all wearing apparels, including wedding dresses and household items. Puritan Cleaners. You feel good when you look good.
For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. As promised, we're going straight to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning there, Mr. ORRETT Connor.
Good morning, Lord Graham. How art thou?
I'm good. I heard you reading out what are those amendments that going to Parliament? I was just wondering if you knew of any other motions or amendments concerning the immigration reform, if there's such a thing as immigration, anything to do with immigration reform that would be laid on the table for this such sitting?
No, what was shared was what MP Chris Saunders shared with his constituents and shared with me that I could discuss, use on my show. And it had to do with today's proceedings. But that's a good question. There were many people who were hoping that such amendments would be moving forward.
I say that to say this or say, because, as you know, that would be probably controversial, right? And they might, because maybe they think that the government don't have the numbers, but I would, if I was the premier, I would be bringing those motions or amendments to the House now, right? Just to show the public going into this election, the people that have their belongers at best at heart, is it? Because they would either vote for it or they don't vote for it.
Right.
And if it's for the best interest of the belongers, then we're going to hold that against them going into the election. You see? I would be crafty with that. You see? Because how dare you not vote for something that are in the best interest of the belongers,
You're right.
You hear how Lucinda using that word now? That's from the British Virgin Island,
Yes.
The belongers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, I would be bringing that now to the House, OC. And they put the money where their mouth is now.
Yeah, and that would include the progressives who have agreed to at least allow the government to continue to function. We would know where they are at as well, whether or not they consider this is too serious for us to deal with now or whatever. This will out everybody.
Yep, right across the board.
Yep.
And those that want to debate, they would have to come up now, with good reasons for not supporting something that are in the best interest. So there's nowhere that you can oppose something that are in the best interest of the belongers.
Yep.
You see what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
100% with you on that. Yeah.
So if I were the premier, I did the things that I would be bringing now to this sitting. I'm going into the lecture. I'll be playing politics to the highest degree. You know?
Yep. Oh, while we have you, one of our listeners was querying. They had heard on Radio Cayman some government representative talking about the fact that the bonfire would be reintroduced in East End. And they say that Lord Graham may know something about it. So while I have you on the air here, do we know about the bonfire situation in East End? What's going to happen with that this year?
Yeah, we've been talking about that for quite some time because, as you know, the environmental people have decided that our traditional way of living have to change because they say, or our entertainment or whatever it is we do, we grew up doing. And for many, as far back as I can remember, bonfire was done on the 24th of December every single year from time I was a little boy. I can remember that. A lot of people have passed that started that whole thing. So now we have got up in arms and say, listen, we're going to do it, but we're going to at least submit. We don't just go there and just do it just to spite anyone. We're going to do it because it's our culture, our tradition, right? And heritage. So what we have done, we got Mr. Shondell Borden, who have drawn up a proper plan with overhang and everything to catch if any fallout, if that's what they're concerned about, into the sea. And we have something brought up and planning to have a bonfire on the 24th. And it could be very, very, very difficult to lock up half of East End on that particular night in case anybody come up and oppose it. Especially I got a group of guys up on hill that, they get in a couple of drinks, you're not be able to lock them up anyhow. So, so yeah, we planning on and getting back to our traditional way of living up there in East End by having the bonfire. Mostly because I can tell you right now, I know of hotels on the beach that do it right on our 7-mile beach. What they do, they dig a hole, right? They dig a big hole and they put all the wood in the hole and have the bonfire right there in the white sand. And then after that, then they bury it up. But when the nor'wester come, that will dig all that coal out, right? And smear the beach with all the blackness and stuff like that. So I don't know how they can allow them to dig a big hole and have their bonfire in a hole on the beach, but we can build a proper bonfire out in the sea. Something that's been done for generations.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, happy medium can be found. Where compromises can be made, and that tradition can continue.
Yeah. That's like the turtle meat, but you stop us from if they close down the turtle farm, then we gotta go and kill our turtle that we can get our hand on because we gotta eat turtle meat. So you can tell that gentleman if you got any contact with him, how that go.
Lord Graham,
I know you love your turtle meat too.
Oh, you know that. I have been reliably informed that yes, an immigration motion is coming. It is being filed by MP Mr. Bernie Bush, and that is expected to take place on Thursday, this coming Thursday.
I guess we all got to go down there for that then.
Yeah, we should show our support. Show our support.
Yeah, I gotta be there. I gotta be right up there.
Well,
and when I walk, see, I gotta take a seat and I just go upstairs and I walk around a couple times
so that they see you.
Make them know that I'm here.
All right. Well, hopefully someone will provide me with a copy of the motion, and we can cover it on Wednesday right here on For the Record, God's willing.
Okay. Yeah. And now that they're in session, I take it that there will be no opposition on your panel on Wednesday, so I should start lining up my doctor to take part.
Yeah. More than likely, because
this evening, so
they will have to be preparing for their. I made them aware that the last date is for the record for this year will be the 20th of this month, 20th of December, because we know that all members of Parliament like to send holiday greetings to their constituents and stuff like that. We know that they will do that also when Parliament is ending before the Christmas holidays as well. But the opportunity will be here on Radio Cayman for them to do the same thing if they do want to as well.
And I guess, and you let them know anything after that, they got her pay. No more free because election around the corner.
Yeah, after nomination day, that is it. Yes.
All right, talk to you soon.
Okay, Lord Graham, thank you very much. As a matter of fact, that it gives me a few minutes to talk about the fact that there was a news item about the governor issuing the writs for the election. Of course, those writs are issued to the respective returning officers for each constituency, and that writ will state, when the nominations, are to be are to take place, and then you would have a space in there for the persons who have been nominated. That same writ is has to be returned to the governor after the elections to indicate those persons who have been duly elected, if they ran unopposed, as well. We'll talk more about that writ. We do have a caller, but we're going to ask the caller, let us take the commercial break first. Don't hang up your call. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we return, we can have a conversation with you. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
December is here, but there's still time for that Miami trip before Christmas. Cayman Airways has added several extra flights from Grand Cayman to Miami, perfect for a weekend getaway and to catch that increased duty-free allowance for Cayman residents. But hurry, word is getting round, so those extra seats not going last long. Book your Miami seats online at CaymanAirways.com or call them on 949-2311. All aboard Cayman Airways with extra flights to Miami before Christmas.
Kirk Freeport's annual $40,000 Christmas sweepstakes is back once again. Simply spend $100 at your favorite Kirk Freeport store to enter to win one of 3 $5,000 cash prizes, one of 5 $1,000 cash prizes, and loads of other great prizes throughout December. And of course, the one you're all waiting for, the Rolex watch prize draw for all entries will be held on January 3rd. All purchases of $100 at any Kirk Freeport store before noon on Christmas Eve qualify for all remaining prize draws. Full details on KirkFreeport.com. Merry Christmas from everyone at Kirk Freeport.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
This holiday season, give the gift of sport and style. Winner Circle Sports has everything you need. Quality brands and unbeatable prices on the latest gear. New Christmas stock just arrived. Score big with European Football League jerseys from Adidas, Nike, Air Max, and Dunks. Jordan shoes and clothing. Vans, Authentics, and old school styles. Graphic tees and Levi jeans. Plus, take the advantage of early bird Christmas special. Enjoy 10% off gift cards and make holiday shopping even easier. Find them at 12 Walkers Road, Georgetown. Winner's Circle Sports, always a step ahead.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the people's station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
For the record, with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We had a caller on hold, so we're going straight to that caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Pretty good.
Called your name earlier this morning.
You did?
Yes. Talking about unfortunate fatalities that took place, and your continuous call, about responsibility and everything else, not only during the holiday season, but on our roads in general as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, last night, and also last night, yes, in Savannah, there was about 4 cars, with one headlight on, one headlight up here in the Newlands area, and then up on the main street of Savannah. And then you had about 4 cars coming from coming from south, which is town, right? No lights on. This is like 7 now, it's 8 o'clock, and have no car lights on.
Mm-hmm.
And I see them, driving fast, and I say, imagine we just lost 2 lives, and that means nothing to these guys. Here they are this morning, 6 o'clock, lean to lane and speeding like there's no tomorrow.
Yep.
I don't know when they got really learned, because it's like, in California on their highway, they got some serious accident pictures up on billboards with 1 ton of bright lights that you have to see that every time you cross while you're on that highway driving. You pass them by the hundreds, showing all of this damage of cars and accidents and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. And this morning, these guys are here with these little peddlers, zooming between the cars, motorbikes zooming between the cars. I don't know where the lawyers for these guys, and I say they have no license for these things. And then again, when somebody get hurt, it is me and you that got to pay the price, because they're not licensed, they're not insured, and they should not be on certain roads until they call them birds and all that kind of foolishness name they got them for. All that out here is dangerous. It's dangerous. And I don't know what's going to take for our police department to come out here. We got social media left, right, and center, and nothing is popping up from the police department. But, we just got to say in prayer. I said, we send children off every year on a scholarship to go and study.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything in those studies that they're going for pertaining to political science? Or anybody doing political science to come back here and, run this island in the future?
I can't say definitively. I am sure that some of them do. Some persons who have an inclination and want to study law may do their undergraduate work in political science. Even though in the past I have heard that if you intend on studying law, they say that literature is one, and writing, those are two areas that you really, really should concentrate on. So your ability to comprehend and your ability to write is so important in the legal profession that you would think that other things are important, but if you want to have that foundation, those are the areas that you should concentrate on. But there are some persons now. Bear in mind that political science by itself, it's not viewed as something that's going to likely to generate a livelihood for you unless you extend it further and you get in to politics. I studied political science and history. When I returned to Cayman in 1983, there were lots of opportunities out there. And also with a liberal arts degree, to a certain extent, you have a flexibility. If you're adaptable, there's that flexibility, for you to move into other key areas. The main part of it is your ability to communicate and your ability to comprehend, to understand. Yeah.
Yeah, you heard me talking to Sterling. I'm quite sure about the turtle meat a couple of days ago, last week.
Yes, yeah.
Well, the individual who had number 14 that was there for the morning went back again before the day was out, before they closed down, and the individual still didn't get no turtle meat because when everything was about to shut down, they had a 5-pound bag of malevolence for someone, and someone didn't show it up, so they sold it to that individual. Can you imagine?
Wow.
So tell me something. Who the turtle farm runs under for?
I believe that's under the Ministry of Tourism.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not bringing out any info to us to make us know what the story is. If it's going to be sufficient turtle for the Christmas holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Are they talking to the people of the island and say to them go down all the way to West Bay, and when they get there twice a day, they can't receive anything?
Okay. And do they do the district thing anymore? Remember, at one point in time, they used to have someone stationed like in the Frank Sound area for those persons in the Eastern District. They could come there on certain days and purchase.
I don't even think that is still going on, because I mentioned that to Sterling. Why ain't they going up to the eastern side of the island and make their junction there by Northside Road, so the Easterners and Northsiders can come down and get their turtle instead of going all the way to West Bay, and when they get there, there's no turtle. You understand? I don't know what the problem is, and knowing that that's our main dish on this island, well, I really don't know what to say, OC, because let me tell you something. Anything to make us uncomfortable in our own country, they are doing every bit of it. And I went through South Church Street on Saturday evening. Have you drive up there lately? You see where they did that piece of partial road? Did you been up there? No.
You mean the paving?
Yeah, the paving partial South Church
Yes, from a little bit above the boilers area all the way to Seaview and the road there. Melmac, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, they must have got 200 what is those things? The lights in the road, we call them now. They're, what do you call those lights?
Reflectors, the reflectors.
Yeah, they got must about 200 since they put that new piece of paving down. Look, they got like 200 reflectors down there going up until they get to Seaview. The paving stop and the reflectors stop. Who that area belongs to? Constituent? Who's in that area?
Good question. That would be considered what? Georgetown West?
I don't
Georgetown
know.
West, is that Miss Barbara or Mr. David White? One or the other.
Probably. I don't know who it is, but then the little partial thing. I don't know why they goes on these roads and it'd be there for 3.5 years, and then they decide to come and do a little partial here and a little partial there. I don't know why people keep taking, that's a bunch of idiots then, or vote our vote means so much to us, and it means so much to them, but yet we can't get our money's worth.
Yeah, and there are certain areas of the road where it isn't necessary to repave the whole road, and you do it in little chunks. The one that I've been campaigning for is the stretch from the drive-in theater, Everglow Theater in Peace Bay, and it needs to go all the way down at least to where the Edge used to be, the Edge restaurant, because the rest of the road there is done pretty good. But that whole stretch there, I think, again, I keep repeating this, that it is important for us to know our background, to know our history. That area in Peace Bay from the police station onwards, that was all basically swamp, a part of the coastline. So when just like Eastern Avenue, the road gets rough because it is built on swamp, and if you don't have that firm foundation, it's going to always get lumpy and bumpy every time. They need to put a good base, maybe a concrete base or something like that, but no one ever listens to it. I'm going to ask the minister, one of those ministers, put me on the National Roads Authority, put me on their board, at least for a week or two. Don't have to pay me or anything like that. Just put me on there so I can make some recommendations.
Put me on too.
Yeah, okay. I'll campaign for you at the same time. I'll, road safety, and road rehabilitation. Yeah.
Right. We'll talk later then. Thanks.
All right. You take care. Why don't we take that commercial break now, Ms. Susan, unless we have our other callers on hold. When we return, we'll have about 15 minutes left. If you intend to call, please do so early. If you have any WhatsApp messages, please send them to us. Otherwise, what I will share with you will be more details on the elections, arrangements for elections, and the issue of writs that has recently taken place, where the governor, the 19 returning officers and 15 deputy returning officers for each constituency, they were issued with the writs of election. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget, our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
Cayman, this is Silver Fox. Here's that time of the year again, celebrating the birth of our Savior with family, food, and friends. We are blessed with the peace and tranquility that the beautiful Cayman Islands offer. Merry Christmas from my family to yours, and a blessed new year when it comes.
We having a Christmas party in the backyard.
with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. I'm going to break a promise. I was going to talk about the issue of writs of holding election, but there are several press releases in relation to the sister islands, and I want to share them. We know that, we have, our listeners over, in the sister islands. So there are the Water Authority has issued a PSA advising of the temporary office closures in the BRAC on the 18th of December. It says that the Water Authority Cayman would like to advise its valued customers that the Cayman BRAC office will be closed temporarily on Friday, the 18th of December 2024 between the hours of 11:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. to facilitate a staff event, and they apologize for any inconvenience that may cause. Also, there's a public service announcement, Cayman BRAC holiday season trucked water notice, and it says that the Water Authority Cayman would like to advise its valued customers in Cayman BRAC to place all trucked water orders in advance of the Christmas and New Year's holiday. Truck water orders placed on Tuesday, the 24th of December, will not be delivered until Friday, the 27th of December, 2024. Orders placed on Tuesday, the 31st of December, will not be delivered until Thursday, the 2nd of January. They go on to say that water deliveries placed on or requested for the following dates will incur an emergency fee. So if you place an order on these for delivery on these particular dates, you will incur an emergency fee. Saturday the 21st of December, Sunday the 22nd of December, Thursday the 26th of December, Saturday the 28th of December, and Sunday the 29th of December. And they also point out there will be no water deliveries on Christmas Day, which is Wednesday the 25th of December, or New Year's Day, Wednesday the 1st of January. And we have another one here. One more, I think. This one says, okay, that's the same thing about the temporary closure as well. So please pay attention to the Water Authority's communications in relation to that. Oh, yes, they did issue one in terms of their holiday hours as well. So the Water Authority Cayman wishes to advise its valued customers of the following holiday hours at both its Grand Cayman and Cayman BRAC offices. Tuesday, the 24th of December, 2024, the office hours will be from 8:30 until 12. Cashiers will close at 11 o'clock. Office will reopen Friday, the 27th of December. Tuesday, the 31st of December, 2024, office hours 8:30 to 12. Cashiers will close at 11. And it speaks to the fact that the board, management, and staff of the Water Authority wishes customers and the public a safe and healthy holiday season. What they haven't said here is whether or not they're going to cut anyone off during the holiday season. You're going to give them Water Authority Cayman, or are you going to give them a break and ensure that no one is disconnected for the holiday season? That would be terrible if they are. They haven't said that on there, but maybe they will send out something in that regard. Of course, you don't want to do anything that would those persons who are actually willing and ready to pay their bills, for them not to pay them as well. But hopefully they will. So folks, the writs of election. So section 2828 of the Elections Act speaks that for the purposes of every general election of members of the Cayman Islands Parliament, and for the purpose of the election of members to supply vacancies caused by death, resignation, or otherwise, those would be by-elections, the governor shall issue writs under the public seal addressed to the returning officers in the respective electoral districts for which members are to be returned. Such writs shall be forwarded to the supervisor for transmission to the several returning officers. So that was what that ceremony was all about. So we had the supervisor of elections and the several returning officers there as well. It also points out that every writ shall be in Form 16. There's a specific form for it, and shall specify the day and the place of nomination for candidates, the day on which, if necessary, the poll shall be taken, being not less than 6 weeks after the day of such nomination, and the day on or before which such writs shall be returnable to the governor. So the writs will say when those writs must be returned to the governor, and it will state on those writs the person who has been elected for that particular constituency. So that has been done at this point in time. What I wanted to share also, and I'll talk about in other jurisdictions, and the rhetorical question being, I'm not a lawyer and haven't had any time to do any research on this. Is there any legal responsibility placed on business entities or even others who dispense of alcohol, and as a result of that alcohol being dispensed, the person who has consumed it ends up in an accident, maims or kills an individual or individuals? What legal responsibility is there for that person or that entity? So this is an article, and I give credit to where the article is coming from. This is an article, Are Licensees Responsible for Drink Driving Customers? It's by Carl Weston, head of marketing and partner. He's a non-solicitor at Poppleston Allen in the United Kingdom. This was an article that was written in June of 2023. And he says, one of the paragraphs or sections of the article, are licensees responsible for drink driving customers? And again, I want to pay all respect in the world to those, the family of those persons who lost their lives over the weekend, and those involved in it as well. All due respect to all of that, but the alcohol is the big elephant in the room when it comes to many driving incidents on our roadways. So it is not directed at what occurred this weekend, but in general terms. So it says here that the issue of responsibility is an interesting one. Could a member of a bar staff, a designated premises supervisor, the licensee or owner be held responsible for a customer's decision to get behind the wheel if they are over the limit? Several years ago, there was a case of a drink driver being involved in a crash where both he and the female driver of another vehicle very sadly died. The drink driver's estate paid £275,000 in compensation to the family of the female driver, and then tried to recover some of this money from the owners of the bar where the man had been drinking. This legal action was based on the bar's, and I quote, duty of care. So there is they use the duty of care principle to take this action. The article goes on to say, however, no liability was found. The judge in the Irish High Court said at the time, and I quote, "The duty of care being suggested could include an obligation on publicans to restrain, assault, or even imprison those they believe to be unfit to drive. That would result in publicans committing a criminal act and is not something that any court could contemplate." So the issue that this judge saw was that if you tried to prevent someone from driving and you ended up restraining them or even falsely imprisoning them by whether or not it's temporary or otherwise, by restricting them, that the courts could not contemplate that action. Then there's the title, "A Common Sense and Practical Approach Are Always Best." Says, no matter how socially unacceptable and dangerous it is, if one of your customers decides to drink and drive, it is their personal responsibility. However, as a licensee, you do have a responsibility to encourage responsible alcohol consumption on your premises. We know it is an offense to sell alcohol to a person who is already drunk, and you can also refuse entry to your premises to a drunk person. More generally, you must at all times promote the licensing objectives of public safety and the prevention of crime and disorder. But there are some measures you can introduce to try to avoid being in the position where a customer who has been much too drunk to will want or even attempt to drive home. Vigilance is a practical way to help reduce the drink driving risk. So it might be wise to remind your staff to keep an eye out for groups of people and to try to establish if someone in the group is a designated driver. It might be helpful to increase the general awareness of your non or low alcohol drink offers. There has certainly been an increase in the number of alcohol-free or low alcohol drink options available. In fact, it was in three different pubs over the past weekend, and all of them offered a good range of low alcohol bottled beers, and two of them had low alcohol lager or draft. And I will stop there in terms of that. So again, we know that some companies will provide transportation for their employees if they're having a celebration, in particular in this case a Christmas party. But I would say, why don't we all take personal responsibility? Friends shouldn't allow friends to drive while drunk and knowing quite well that they're not able to operate a vehicle responsibly. So we should all take that pledge, make every effort to prevent someone from driving, bearing in mind that there might be legal limitations in terms of what you can do. But you know what? The next morning, if you have prevented that person from getting behind the wheel, the next morning they may be extremely grateful and thankful for you for what you did. They may curse you while under the influence, but they may be thankful the next day, as well. So let us all try to do our part, in terms of ensuring that we don't drink and drive, and ensure that our friends and family members don't do the same. as well. Folks, I want to thank all of you who participated this morning, those of you who called in, those of you who just simply listened, and you may have sent comments via WhatsApp or otherwise. This is the season that we are celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. We want to celebrate it responsibly. We want to bear in mind that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and we should extend a helping hand to them. That helping hand also should be extended to those persons who you feel should not be operating a vehicle under the current conditions that they may be under, as well. So, folks, I want to encourage you to continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Don't forget the Parliament convenes today, and also join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Kirk Market, experience a world of choice.
Covering Little Cayman, Cayman Bride.
Cover me,